Montessori instruction looks like you see order, you see coordination, you see concentration, and you see independence. What I hope you intuit when you walk in a classroom is that teachers are working in almost an indirect way to help children to evaluate their work, to help them move on and make transition. Dr. Montessori developed a curriculum that we call grace and courtesy, that those are the two components that are most important to develop a respectful, peaceful environment. Peace education at Morehead is seen in every classroom, goes through what children need to do if they find they have a conflict with another child. Every classroom has a peace table or a peace corner where children can go if they just kind of need to settle down a little bit or recoup or just meditate. In the primary classrooms, the typical day begins at Morehead with the children arriving a lot of variety of ways, walking, in cars, in buses, and they have at this point in the year transitioned. Pretty much everyone is walking into the building independently. The teacher will begin in some classrooms a morning meeting. Dr. Montessori believed that children needed to have a lot of uninterrupted work time. So we have two long, about an hour and a half work cycles during the day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. And it's during that time that teachers are giving instruction and children are working through their work plan. Each child's work plan is developed by the teacher based on their mastery of certain skills. Dr. Montessori believed it was very important for children to be able to learn from each other, to be role models and helpers. So a traditional Montessori school for primary are ages 3, 4, and 5. In public schools, we have 4 and 5-year-olds together. At Morehead, we call that primary. Pre-Ks and Ks are together in the same classroom. Then they move to lower elementary, and those are combined of first, second, and third graders all together living in the same classroom, creating a peaceful community of learners. And then they move to upper L, and that is fourth and fifth graders together.
The working primary helped me so much just build up my knowledge, and when I was ready for lower L, I just was, I think, ahead of the game.
The benefits of students being in a Montessori classroom is that our program helps them become very independent at an earlier age as opposed to a traditional classroom. We really strive for independence. All the activities we do are scaffolding towards that mark of independence. You might see the different areas that are set up in the Montessori way. You have practical life, sensorial. Our language areas are much different than maybe a traditional classroom might have set up. Math, geography, and the whole thing of grace and courtesy. Everything about our classroom is supposed to represent peace and a sense of calmness. And so everything we do in the classroom kind of helps embed those types of things.
We really like the idea that our kids would be learning with kids that are both older and younger than them and providing them opportunities to both interact with role models and be role models in those classrooms. We also really like the fact that Montessori education is very much student-driven and students take a very active role in their own education in terms of putting together their work plans, setting their own goals, and working toward those goals. We just think that's very important as they move through education and life to learn how to do that and to be active goal setters.
They're teaching you how to have independence in yourself and how you're supposed to do things by yourself.
Montessori, it's great because it truly is individual based. Like all schools are trying to do that, but in a Montessori school where everything is specific to that one child and not, okay, you're a first grader, you're a second grader, this is what you're working on, this is all we're gonna do. They really get to work on what they need to work on at that point in time. which is awesome. And being Montessori, for lower L, we have first, second, and third grade in the classroom together. So it's a nice small group of what is a first grader and a second and a third grader, but they all work together. You know, like I said, I have a second grader working on third and fourth grade skills, and it really allows them that flexibility that even if they're a third grader and they're not ready for third grade material, they can still continue to work on those first or second grade skills that they need to master. And it's a lot easier in a Montessori classroom.
I would say it's a very inclusive culture. The school has a broad demographic, and it represents the entire Durham community, and which is one of the great things about this this particular institution. It's a smaller school, so the student faculty ratios are very low, and the teachers want to see you involved. And so be prepared to be involved if you do want to apply here.